Well, today we started our terminal tour that took us down in Mexico. So this took us to Mexico City, and this was a chance to meet with our long-standing partner. It's the Transportation Especialized de la Torre. And the de la Torre is the family that owns the business. And they've been our primary partner with Mexico for about 27 years. The business was founded in the 1940s in Guadalajara, and became a formal, and I'll call it an incorporated business, around 1962. And Marco de la Torre, he is the patriarch of the business. He just celebrated his 80th birthday. He oversees the entire business, and he has 4 children involved in the business, and one of them is Alejandra. Alejandra, I have known both Marco and Alejandra since about 2010. And Alejandra takes the lead on the chemical portion of the business. And in that business, she has runs about 350 trucks, which is quite large. And it makes us, Quality Carriers, the largest cross-border carrier when it comes to chemicals. So the majority of the business is southbound, meaning coming from the U.S., going to Mexico, and then normally coming back empty to the U.S., but there are exceptions. And I've been down here, I think this is perhaps my 4th or 5th visit to Mexico City to visit the De La Torres. I've also been to Guadalajara once. It's been a few years. In fact, the last trip I had scheduled was in April of 20, and everybody remembers the pandemic, so I canceled that. And this was my first chance to get back. So it was wonderful spending time with both Marco and Alejandra and the team here. And we got a chance to walk around, see the incredible operations, and what it really speaks is excellence, safety, commitment, and you see it in everything, whether it's the incredible landscaping, the bougainvillea, whether it's the architecture, all the fine details they put into this business are really remarkable. And I can tell you, having been to, I think, 4 of their terminals now, they're all very similar. This isn't a one-off. And so you see that they run a fleet of Kenworth trucks. So this is new trucks coming in. They run about 350. They keep them very young, averaging about 3 years old, which is great. They have a small maintenance operation here to do oil changes, tire alignments, things like that. They have another Mexico City terminal in Ecatepec that does heavier maintenance. They have a small wash area over here. The wash area is for internal food grade washes, but they also do external washes. Any chemical washes, like what we would be, our products that we move, would be done at the other terminal. They have incredible amenities for the drivers. They have a big training area up here, along with a medical center for drivers to do their physicals, to do their periodic testing that's required for driver standards, drug testing, that kind of thing. They also have a training center up there. And then they have a wonderful cafeteria for the employees, for breakfast, for lunch. And then on the international side, which is where our business works with them, you can see a bunch of the Quality Carriers trailers, some owned by the De La Torres, some owned by us. They're all intermingled to really optimize the business. And this is a staging area for those trailers. This is really the terminal they dispatch all the international freight. And international in this context means U.S. The other terminal tends to do more of the domestic freight, so meaning intra-Mexico. So we move a lot of freight with them, maybe 300 plus per week across the border. They've got all the security at the entrance. You can see the incredible fleet of trucks and trailers ready to go as we circle around here. I can't say enough about their operations. I know when our commercial team is selling anything with Mexico, I never have to think about, will it be serviced well? Would it be serviced safely or compliantly? It is perfect, and it's because of the De La Torres. They do an incredible job, very humble people, but everything they do is just absolutely outstanding. So while we were here, we also had to spend time with Ruben Capoletti. Ruben is part of our leadership team. Ruben's based in the Houston area, but he manages all of our Mexico business. Everything to do with the border crossings, the customers, everything to do with the relationship with the Delatoris, the contractual side, the non-contractual side. And he's been with us 20 plus years, does an amazing job for us, and has really cemented this relationship. In fact, Ruben was telling me earlier that when he was interviewing with Quality 24, 25 years ago, as part of the interview, because he already had expertise in border work and border crossings, and he knew he'd be working with, the Mexico partner, Delatorre, he wanted to visit here as part of his interview process to understand what he was getting into. And he came here, and at that time, the terminal was still under construction. They had some temporary trailers, but as he met with the people, saw what they were doing, he was so convinced, he said, this is for me. And so now Ruben's been here over 20 years, got to spend time with him and his lovely wife, Donna. And just, again, you can see why we're not only the leader in chemical transportation in North America, we're the dominant leader when it comes to the cross-border Mexico business. And so, again, it was great catching up with Marco and Alejandra. They do an amazing job for us. I could be happier to have them as partners. And it just really shows it's consistent with our values. And I just love coming down here and visiting them. And the one thing I can say for certain is, I think the last time I was here was 6 years ago. It won't be 6 years the next time. Next time it'll be much quicker, probably next year. So again, a great stop in Mexico as we continued our terminal tours, really outstanding visits, and looking forward to the next tour as we have a few more to go before we complete the entire coverage of all of our operations.